What episode?
5, is it?
Yes, you are correct, sir.
What do I win?
You win a cold glass of shut the hell up.
I'm afraid I'm allergic to shut the hell up, so I'm just
Notice.
going to keep on talking right here. But yeah, no. The Undoing, kind of similarly to Fargo, is just, I guess they're taking a master class at avoiding, expectation.
Yeah. Okay. So, The Undoing, episode 5. There's only 6 episodes in this series, and this is 5. So we only got one more left. It's a mini series, a limited series. They said. Now I heard I think it's doing well. So since it's doing so well, they might pick it up.
Yeah.
I don't really see what can they do to stretch it out, because if we don't find out who killed this person now, then I'm gonna be so mad.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of the problem with stuff like this. It's kind of like that first season of Luther, right?
Yeah.
You either had to pick what part of your show is going to become the basis of your series, because it can't be like that whole premise can't be the basis of the series, because it can't go that long, or you just end it, right?
Yeah.
You can't just say, we can't be following this same trial for 2 seasons.
Right. So maybe they might do like an anthology or something where they're. Somebody said they wouldn't mind seeing an anthology with the lawyer that did new cases or something like that.
I'd be down for that.
Yeah. So where we left off is they're about to start the trial, and they was they picking the jury and all that, and everything is going on there. We talked about the last episode where Jonathan actually talked to the lady's husband. I can't remember his name. The victim's husband,
Hector.
Hector,
Yeah.
to ensure him that he didn't do it, which was so stupid. When I saw that, I was like, "Are you that much of a narcissist that you don't know the problem here?"
Yes, he is.
Yeah, I'm finding that out, and I'm gonna talk more about him because I hate him more every episode. And as we know that Grace was at the scene of the crime before it happened.
Who
and
wasn't?
I don't know, right? I don't know why she's not a suspect. So basically, this episode was more about the trial, and the Fitzgerald, the lawyer, was basically telling them how she's gonna approach it, and she said, all I can do is I can prove reasonable doubt. We're going to point the finger at Hector, the husband, because we need to give them somebody. Because the first thing they're going to say is, if you didn't do it, who did?
Right.
Which is true.
And
so we got to give them somebody.
And what we end up seeing in the course of the trial is she's the only one who's asked that question.
Yeah.
Like, the cops didn't look at anybody but him.
Dude, and we're going to talk about that once. And because she had talked about the jury, and she was like, yeah, this guy, this guy, that, this guy's having an affair himself, so he's gonna go ahead and go for the husband or whatever. They like, how do you know that? She's like, well, it's a gray area how I knew that. I was like,
though I will say, and I think it's one of the things I've appreciated, is there's been a bit more of a focus on these crime procedural shows of showing how jury jury selection works. Where like both sides look, I think they'll be sympathetic to our case. Maybe we need to do what we can to get them. So you see the way they've basically done a CIA operation, doing a deep dive into all these folks' lives.
Yeah.
These two, they've been cheated on, so they ain't siding with you.
Man, all I could guess is they went to their social media. I don't know, and they just had experts kind of analyze their posts or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But anyway, so we starting this trial, and she put, who went on the stand first?
Was
it Hector? Oh no, it was
wasn't Hector. It was
So Jonathan's gonna go, but he didn't go yet.
He didn't go. Was it
Grace
the cop?
didn't. So I guess it was Hector. Somebody I'm forgetting,
no. You know what it was? They started with their opening statements.
Right. Okay.
They started with their opening statements.
Right. And Marsha Clark was like, so it's two female lawyers too. But she, she did the little opening statement. She did an okay job, whatever. And Fitzgerald did her opening statement, and she basically was like, "Yeah, they just want to say my client is guilty, but he had a relationship with this woman, so that they just immediately point the finger at him, and we'll show you that it ain't." So she's once Hector got on scan, she asked the question that was necessary, and everybody's like, "Oh man, how you ask that?" And they like, "Objection." I'm like, no, objection my ass. I want to see what this means. You know what I'm talking about? Where he's asked him, are you seeing somebody? Are you crazy? Basically, asked him, are you seeing some psychologists or help?
I really
or mental issues?
I enjoy the way she's operating in this case because basically, like she said she was going to do. We just need to create reasonable doubt. So it's like, was your wife seeing a psychiatrist? Are you seeing a psychiatrist? How come you don't want to answer these questions?
Right, and everybody's like, objection. I'm like, objection? No. And then the judge did say overruled. Because I was like, no. I want to hear this.
Yeah.
That's important.
And even her explanation is like, look, you going through a lot right now. Are you getting help for this? Because this is a lot for anybody to handle.
Yeah, you're vile. And she's like, man, no, she doing her job.
Yeah. And he was doing a little too much.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, she wanted to pretty much point the finger at somebody else, but she asked the question. First of all, did you know she was sleeping with him already? And he didn't want to answer that. Yeah, he did know.
Yeah.
Well, that's motive.
Yeah, that's motive.
That's a hell of a motive if you already know, because she had her own place, right? That was her studio. So she had another apartment she used for her studio, and you knew she was sleeping with somebody else when she's at that studio. How is that not a motive?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And keeping in mind, like, he's already tried to play it off like he didn't know she was cheating.
Right. But, I mean, he basically told everybody, yeah, I knew she was cheating, but, I did love her, and I knew it wasn't nobody else.
Well, if she was cheating with him, how do you know she wasn't cheating with anyone else? She there weren't any girls. How do you know? I just know.
She had her own place, and when she was there, she's supposed to be working on her art, but something else was getting.
I'm just waiting for them to reveal she was also cheating with Grace.
Well, who was?
Eleanor.
Oh. We're going to talk about that because it's stuff that keep coming out that looks like they could have had some kind of thing going on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I think, like I said, I think she did a good job, because now I'm kind of like, what's up with him? Like I don't think he did it though, the husband, but at least she is creating a lot of doubt. Because if I was on the jury, I wouldn't just automatically think, oh, this dude did it, Yeah. Oh, what about this dude? You know what I'm saying? And then she showed the picture of Grace at the crime scene, well, close to the crime scene, and she said the police ignored this too. I was kind of surprised. I'm like, damn, she throwing her under the bus.
Like, again, it's like I don't. It's a good tack. Like you said, it's like, oh no, I'm not saying she did it, but you said that there wasn't no video of anyone else.
Yeah.
It's like she perfectly put him in that position.
Yeah. So yeah, we can talk about the cop now, where she had I forgot his name.
I can't remember his name.
Yeah, but she had him on the stand, and she made him look stupid. And he was like, so what about the husband? Oh, he had an alibi. This is the part that really tripped me out, because I wanted to say, oh, he must have had a solid alibi. I thought he was like somewhere where he had some video feed or something.
No.
Like he was at somewhere somewhere they could timestamp him.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? Like he was at the store to buying something at the time or whatever. No.
He had a rock solid alibi. He was at home with his sleeping kid.
Dude, hold on. So his son, say if his son go sleep at 10, 11 maybe. You go sleep at 10 or 11. If you say if you ask me like, hey, you saw me, you saw me here that last night right before you went to sleep, right? Like, yeah, I went to sleep at 10 o'clock. What you did from 10 to 7, I can't tell you. And don't even ask for me to be your alibi.
And this is the thing, right? So, like, this is one of the infuriating things about watching this show is, like, the more evidence you get, the more ridiculous it is that they seem so sure that they know what happened. Because it's like, oh, we know it wasn't so he has an alibi. His alibi can't be corroborated at all.
Yeah.
Well, what about such and such? Well, no, we don't think she did it.
Yeah, I really don't even see the motive for Jonathan doing it.
No.
You know, why would you already, have start a relationship with her, have a kid by her, and take that kid to pay for the school? You done already had this little life with her.
Yeah.
Why would you do it now?
It wouldn't
If you was
make
gonna do it,
sense.
you would have done it when she was gonna blow your life up. By having a kid. All that stuff. No, he kept going. So it's like, why now? What's your motive? I really don't see the motive for him to
Me
do it
neither.
now. You know what I'm saying?
And even the way the lawyer painted it is like, it makes more sense for the husband to have done it. It makes more sense for Grace to have done it. The
Yeah.
one person that doesn't make sense is Jonathan.
Right, because Grace got motive. If she found out she got motive.
Yeah.
She say she didn't know. She been acting stupid, but I kind of question that.
Yeah.
And
Well-
he actually questioned her too, and he was like, "So why was you there? Why was you even there? Oh, I was taking
Yeah.
a walk. No, that's bull. Don't tell me that. Why was you there?
Like, was you following me?
following me?
Which would have been a great out.
right, but it's like, yeah, she could have been, but I mean, you can't get mad if she was.
Right. And so like, I think this is making me more and more sure that Grace did it while in some kind of disassociative episode. But we'll get to that later because there's a moment later on in the episode where she kind of disassociates. But getting back to the trial, so she makes a fool out of the cop.
Mm-hmm.
That, and you see very quickly that's her case is these cops is incompetent. You can't
Yeah.
trust nothing they say.
I mean, at the most, she gonna have a hung jury because I can tell you right now, I'll already be doubting.
Yeah, yeah,
And that is, you want somebody to pay for it, but I'm not just gonna say him and everybody else cool. All these
Right.
other people got motives. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he didn't even have a motive. That's why I just like, no, I think y'all didn't investigate enough. That's what her job is. All right, so Jonathan get another reveal, and I was like, every time this dude get a reveal, like I said, every episode he just more of a piece of shit. So
Yeah.
remember the dog story where he said, first he said he allergic to dog, then she said, I knew that was bull crap, and I knew that was gonna come back, but she said, oh, I was allergic to. No, I mean she said, oh, he had a dog, he wandered outside, he died, so that's why he hate dogs, and he came to him with this story, crying like, oh man, I was making a sandwich.
It actually wasn't a dog at all. It was my younger sister. And
And I was like, you so stupid.
like, because
You-
to me, it's like
Even like his mama said, I don't give a fuck. He was old enough. You was just dumb.
well, like, so it's bad enough that
You want me to feel sorry for you? No.
it's bad enough. Like, so his 4-year-old sister died because he wasn't watching her, and for whatever reason, he left her unsecure enough that she could get out into the
Yeah,
street
you left the door open or
Yeah.
whatever.
while he was out off making himself a sandwich or whatever. But also, you've been lying and telling your wife that it was the family dog.
A sympathy play. You know what I'm saying? So,
No.
and I feel like while he crying, he was gonna turn around and start laughing as soon as she said, "Oh, it's okay." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like this whole episode, he been manipulating her.
Dude,
You know what I'm saying?
like this.
I don't
dude-
know if that was. We found out he actually was the truth because his mama confirmed
right.
it.
But
But,
his
still,
mama also pointed out something that we were kind of wondering, which
he's a
is
sociopath.
he's a sociopath. And so like so a lot of the stuff about him is starting to make sense. His narcissism, why he seems so sure that all he has to do is talk at folks and smile and they'll be on his side.
Yeah.
Because he can't envision any version of events where he's not the good guy,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone else should just kowtow to him.
Yeah, and that's why I was like, I don't believe you. And then when he was talking about it, I was like, that's even dumber.
Yeah.
It's like, even if I put you in charge of your little sister, you shouldn't be dumb enough to. Yeah, you can go make a sandwich, you can do whatever, but you make sure the door is locked or whatever. You don't be that dumb that you're gonna let your sister walk outside. So I wouldn't forgave him either. I would have still.
Yeah.
I don't like this dude, man. The more he talk about himself, he pissed me off.
And I think it's one of the things, like, I actually really appreciate it now that they chose Hugh Grant for this, because you see like this echo of the characters he played back in the 90s, and it's just far enough away that it's like, oh no, he's not that guy. He thinks he's that guy.
Then you see that guy, he looked like he's that guy.
Yeah.
And I did like when the lawyer said, was that the lawyer who said that where, oh yeah, she did say, you got to pretend like you're a good husband, a good father, and I know you ain't either.
Well, like even to the point of saying, like, we're not going to convince them that you're an honorable man, because you're not.
Yeah, I know.
We're not going to try to convince them that you're a good husband or a good father. All we got to do is convince them that you didn't kill nobody.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the one thing we can convince them.
But see, he want everybody to believe that he's a good husband and a good father.
Yeah,
It's like, dog, you lost that train.
It ain't gonna
That train
happen.
that left the station.
There ain't no way it's going to happen. And this is the problem with his character, and it makes him really hard to swallow, is anyone can look at this and say, give up on being the good guy here. Just don't be the murderer. That's all you got to do is don't be the murderer.
Yeah.
Because all that other stuff, you ain't going to convince nobody of that. Your defense here is that I cheated on my wife, but I cheated on my wife with someone I love too much to kill. That's your defense.
Yeah.
So don't tell me I would never lie and cheat. No. The only reason you're innocent, the only reason you're in this is because you lied and cheated.
Yeah. I mean, and he did say he told her he really loved her.
Sure.
And all that. But, I mean, look at her. I mean, I was like, dude, I was thinking, I was like, when Grace like, how could you cheat on me? You saw her naked. What you think? she fine as hell. Because I had to go back and look at that scene with her ass. I'm like, man, her ass is
Oh, God,
perfect.
dude.
Like I know she a sculptor because she sculpted that ass. So I'm looking like, look, man.
Oh, I'm dead.
That's like
I'm dead.
That's one of those situations. Like, come on, man, wouldn't you? I'll send it to my wife. But no, seriously.
Oh, man. But back to the topic at hand.
No, but seriously, man. We need to find out who did this, right?
Yeah.
And we go. Let's talk a little bit about the lawyer, her friend, her best friend, the blonde. She keeps popping up at weird times.
Yep.
And I'm not sure if they trying to. And I get to the point where I'm like, okay, if she's the killer, I'm not gonna be disappointed, but I'm gonna be like, well, you kind of. It's not gonna be an old shit moment, you know?
Yeah.
Because she just popping up in weird times. Like, why are you here? You know what I'm saying? It's like you see how she popped up at the trial.
Yeah,
and then she waved at the prosecutor, and then she go sit with the family. Like, what are you doing? Yeah. Why are you here?
I'm still waiting for the other shoe to drop on that one because either one, she's sticking around, she's riding in the pocket because she wants to help, send this dude away.
Yeah.
Or this is some greater thing, like we was talking about in one of the earlier episodes, like her dad and her friend are both trying to protect her in these really weird ways.
Yeah.
And so her dad's whole thing is he'll pay to get rid of any problem, but
right.
she's the one on she's boots on the ground. You know. So the husband's cheating, the husband might have killed somebody. Distance.
Man, I never trust her until soon as she told her that she was his lawyer for a case where he had sexual misconduct with patients, and she never told her. That right there tells me everything I need to know. You know, it's Constitution. Why you take the case?
Yeah.
Did you need the money that bad?
It was already a conflict.
That's what I'm saying.
So.
Did you need the case? Did you need the money that bad? That made Grace look dumb that she just call her out right there. Grace was like, oh, really? Oh, well, okay. Like, no, Grace. No, stupid. Once she told you that, you should have smacked her ass and was like, why the hell you didn't tell me that? What the hell? My husband been cheating on me and you knew?
Yeah.
And you talk to me every day?
Yeah.
Really, dude? So she already was suspect after that moment,
you
know? And like I said, she keep popping up at weird times, and then she tell her everything on the phone, and because they had a phone conversation, she said, what did she say to him? Where she's like, it ain't none of your business. You remember? She's like, it might not be my place, but such and such, such and such. And she's like, you're right, it's not your place. I can't even remember what she said.
It was something like that. It's like, it's not my place, but such and such. No, it's not your place, but you're right. Like something like that. Yeah. But she just telling her everything. I
know, and which makes sense where people who do that stuff act like your friend just so they can get all the information anyway.
I'm thinking she's just I think Grace is particularly susceptible to like borderline individuals, because her dad got a little touch of that, you know, and Lord knows she married a guy that was full tilt.
Well, I was gonna say, Grace, I think, is easy to fool or use because, as you know, as they showed in this episode, the husband worked his charm on her, and got her to take him back, basically take him back.
Also, there's a bit that we see in this episode where it's like she tends to actively disassociate, right? So we see when he's home alone and he's lonely, so he calls her up,
right?
And she has like a personality switch in the middle of their conversation.
So you think? Oh, so did you pick up on that? Yeah. I really couldn't tell.
Well, because like they showed her like in bed, like in full makeup, after already showing her being ready for bed. You know, and then when she shows up at his place, she's got lipstick, she's painted her nails, she's done herself up. Yeah. So like first you see like while she's talking to him in bed, you see a glimpse of a version of her, fully made up with and everything, and then she shows up at his place made up just like that.
Okay, so yeah, I mean they they slept together, whatever, but. It's almost like you think he knew that she was gonna come. Like he was like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna plant the seed, and she just going. I mean, it's gonna grow.
It could be.
Yeah, whatever. But it's just the whole point. That just show you how he got control over her.
Yeah,
and she is so easy to fall for his bull crap.
Yeah.
The fact that she was
she wants to. That's why.
Yeah, I know. So I don't feel sorry for her. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like she threw it to herself. Well, she always take him back. She's not a smart character.
Even when she's trying to keep him at arm's length, she's doing a terrible job at it. Like, so she wants to keep him away from her son, and the way she does that is by going out to have dinner with the whole family.
Yeah, I mean, I guess she's doing it for her son. Let's talk about Henry.
Ooh, yeah.
So her son is trying to keep the family together. I got the feeling he feel like his father is guilty, and he. I guess he don't care. He cares, but he's like, well, I don't want to lose my dad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, you brought up the idea maybe he could have done it. Now, the show reinforced that like times 10.
Well, I think that's a red herring.
I know. But,
yeah. But like, so we find a piece of evidence in his stuff. Mm-hmm. And so what I'm thinking happened is that this is going to circle around to...
But it's a spoiler. We already spoiled everything. Yeah. Might as well say what it is.
So the sculpting hammer that Helena's face was beaten into a bloody pulp with.
Oh, and then when they showed that at court,
yeah,
that's messed up that they didn't have the kids leave when they showed that.
I'm telling you, like I was angry.
The boys saw his mother face. Yeah. They knew the kid was there. That was messed up.
Because usually when this stuff gets brought up in a trial, they'll say, now a warning.
Yes.
This is
right.
This is,
she didn't get no warning. She's like, yeah, let me show y'all
graphic. And it's like she just said, now this woman face beaten to a pulp on the floor. This is what this man did. Well, you didn't tell nobody.
Right. So people throwing up and walking out and stuff. Which right. That was what she wanted. She wanted to get that
shock factor.
But at least get the kids out of there. At least get the kid of the the person that's beat on that you about to show.
Like you don't want him to see that again.
Right. That's just, I don't know. That was just kind of messed up.
Yeah.
But no. The last what you were saying about Henry though, dude.
Right.
Sorry.
So
cutting you off.
when they brought up the hammer in the trial, they mentioned that the one that was used in the murder was never recovered.
Which we knew that whoever had that hammer had to do it.
So we see Grace goes in to check on Henry. He's left his stuff all out, his violin and everything. So she goes to put it up, and then in his violin case is his hammer.
Heavy, huh?
She's like, what's going on?
Open it up. The hammer.
Oh.
It's hammer time. And I'm like, hold on. That look on his face.
Like that dude woke up like Damien,
man,
didn't he? Was
that a little too much, or was that cool? How'd you feel about that?
I didn't like it
because it was kind of like it's almost like like it was a comedy. I ain't gonna say that, but his eyes got real big.
He woke up like they found me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was one of those. It was an old shit.
Yeah.
But
So,
it just, I don't know, it just,
like when
it wasn't subtle.
It wasn't subtle at all. So what I'm sure is going to happen is we're going to find out, Jonathan came to Henry, hey, look, bud, I need you to take care of this for me. You're my man. I know you got my back. We're family. We're going to be good so long as you keep this safe. And so that's probably how this is going to go, because I sincerely doubt Henry did it. I think it'd be cool if they could make it believable, but they're not going to. So since we're getting ready to go into the last episode, this is my prediction.
Mm-hmm.
Grace had a psychotic break and she did it. Jonathan found out and he tried to clean it up.
Mm.
Then after the fact, he probably roped the dad in on it.
Mm-hmm.
And the only one who knows everything is probably the lawyer.
Mm. That's okay theory, but let me hit you with this one, brother.
Speak, brother, speak.
Well, the thing about that theory, though, I'm going to put a little hole in that one. Why would Jonathan not get help from the father and all that? The fact of the matter is, if he's trying to protect Grace, his father should be willing to help Jonathan.
But
the whole, if you do this, I'm gonna kill you. What? I'm doing this for your daughter. You know.
I don't think the dad knows that.
You
Grace
said he
did.
wrote them into it.
Yeah, but I don't think he told him that it was for Grace. Because we already know he's a bit of a sociopath.
Yeah.
I'm thinking he's cleaning this up not to protect her, but to protect himself by proxy.
But do he know his Grace? You think he knows his Grace, right?
I think he thinks someone else would think it's her. So this is what I'm saying. I think he probably knows she was there. He thinks that there's a good chance someone will connect that to her and say, what if she did it? And he thinks that's going to make him look bad. Because his approach to the whole world is, how does this affect me?
Okay.
So I think he jumped the gun on this shit because, man, she better not have. Was she by a murder scene? This is going to make me look bad if folks find out. He won't even. I don't think it occurred to him until somebody.
Okay. Oh, you done? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, because I'm just going to end up going in circles if I keep going for too long. But what I think it is he's trying to do damage control for what might have happened, not for what he knows happened.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. Well, this is what I think. So we know the sculptor hammer was in the Henry's thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty sure he didn't do it. I'm pretty sure he think it's his dad. He found it and he hid it to protect his dad or his mom. He know one of them could have done it. Okay. So he hid it to protect them, not because he did it. Because remember, I was wondering, where's that hammer? The police went through the house with a fine-tooth comb, but if he had that in his violin case the whole time, they didn't check him. They checked the house. So he been carrying that around, I guess, the whole time.
Yeah.
Where the violin at?
That's a good question.
So anyway, I think it was the lawyer. I think he was sleeping with her because, as you remember, it's got to be. And I'm mad that it's so obvious. He said I slept with somebody else. Not a big deal, and they didn't say who.
Right.
She keep popping up at these weird times where she don't belong there, but it's like they had her pop it up so you won't forget about her. And I just think it was her because he was sleeping with her.
So she's the crazy side piece.
He was sleeping with her, and she found out he was sleeping with Eleanor. Because remember, she told her, I saw them at school together.
Yeah.
So
she could handle Grace because she wasn't threatened by Grace.
With the fact that he say it was this one-time thing, I broke that shit off. So he hit her one time, and she couldn't let the shit go. You know what I'm saying? But he went on ahead, had a kid with the other girl, and she was like, well, hold up. Whoa. You can't be with me, but like I said, okay, I know you with Grace, but you can't be with me. And, you can't even make me your side piece, but you have a kid by her? Okay, she got to go.
Right. Well, then it's like, there ain't no way she can look at Eleanor and I say, I get it.
So she killed her, planted the hammer on the husband, and the boy found it first and then been hiding it.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Because remember she say, it's always the husband. It's always the husband.
Yeah.
Remember that shit?
You're right.
Yeah. It's too obvious to me. I mean, it's nice. It's a good mystery. I just feel like it's got to be her.
They could always surprise.
I
us.
know. I would love for. Don't get me wrong. I love to be surprised. It's just at this point, it's nowhere else. It's nobody else.
It was the toddler the whole time.
Yeah. Whatever. But yeah, I think it's the lawyer. So you know. I mean, yeah.
We'll see.
The friend lawyer.
We've only got one episode left. So.
Right. So this is it, man. The last episode, we get the big reveal. I hope it's a good moment. I hope it's not a wah wah. I hope it ain't one of those moments.
Oh God.
All right, so that is our review for
The Undoing.
The Undoing, episode 5, limited series. It's a
It's
good
definitely
show.
It's a good show. If you haven't already seen it, the two of you who are watching, which is better than
including
none.
you.
I don't know what you're talking about. Then please check out The Undoing. It's a killer show. No pun intended. I swear.
Yeah, you talk about the I'm about to call him Mission Impossible. You talk about the US CSI dude. You talk about the CSI dude. You so worse than him.
Yeah, but I'm not a cop standing over a dead body.
I give you that.
Granted, if I was, I'd probably default to dad humor as well.
Okay, so